Hey, what's happening? You're listening to the Godfather Minute. I'm Alex Robinson.
And I'm Andy Robinson.
Together we are the Godfather Minute.
Brothers.
Well, before we start Minute 56, our analysis of Minute 56, we should probably acknowledge the relatively recent passing of Mama. Mamma Mia. Well, she's not Mamma Mia. How do you say your mother? Their mother.
Don't know. Mama Suya, maybe?
So, yes, Morgana King, who played Mama. And let's just say that things aren't looking too good for Fredo now that Morgana King is gone.
Yeah, that's right. Because Mikey, as Connie said, you waited for Mama to die and then you had Fredo killed. Is that what
monster.
she said?
Just something like that?
Yeah.
There's your husband.
There's your monster. There's your monster.
Yes, so goodbye, funny woman. And
she did a great job in that role.
Yeah, she did. Okay, let's talk about Minute 56.
Minute 56. Yeah. Alex, repita. E minuto.
Numero. Quintara.
50.
56. 56?
That's it.
No, 56. Minuto numero 56.
You got it.
I think I can say I'm a fluent Italian speaker now.
Yes.
Awesome.
You don't need the Rosetta Stone or any of those other products.
The Rosado Stone.
That's how they eventually got out of organized crime. Well, the Corleones muscled them out, and they got into language acquisition tapes.
Yeah, they became legit. Ironically, Michael Corleone pressuring them made them go legit. And so, my client owns stock in language software. We have a sworn affidavit saying you don't even know what the software is at this point.
Where is it? Where's that affidavit? So he's got the worst paralegal in the state. Is that Nevada that trial's taking place?
I assume it's D.C.
Yeah. Oh, it's D.C.
Yeah, it's Washington, D.C., right?
I always thought it was Nevada charges against. I guess it was right before RICO, but federal racketeering charges.
Yeah, well, they're all like senators and stuff, so I assume it would be all federal laws.
Yeah.
So
and probably because it's all across state lines too.
Yeah, so Minute 56 starts off with Sonny telling Paulie in his penultimate appearance to drink some brandy, sweat it out, referring to Paulie's so-called illness.
Yeah.
So does Paulie think he's legitimately sick at all? Does Sonny think Paulie is legitimately sick?
I think no.
You think
he believes he's faking it.
Yeah.
Because he clearly knows that Paulie had Pop set up.
Yeah. Because also
he knows at this
he used
point
the phone company records to do all that
stuff.
So.
Actually, it's interesting in the book because Mikey asks Sonny in the book how he knows that Paulie is was the traitor, was the rat in the family. May I read from the book?
I'll allow it, but tread carefully, counselor.
Page 93, Puzo writes, "How do you know for sure it's Paulie?" Michael said. Sonny said, "We have people in the telephone company, and they track down all of Paulie's phone calls in and out. Clemenza's too."
Oh, yeah, because
I don't think Clemenza's sitting right there. This is in the book. It's a little bit different. The camera pans over to Fat Clemenza. Oh no, don't worry. He can't listen. He's not listening to us. He's dancing. He's practicing his dance moves. On the other 3 days, Paulie was sick this month. He got a call from a street booth across from the old man's building. Today too, they were checking to see if Paulie was coming down or somebody was being sent down to take his place, or for some other reason. It doesn't matter, Sonny shrugged. Thank God it was Paulie. We'll need Clemenza bad.
Do you think Clemenza feels bad that his guy is the one who...
Yeah.
Because in this minute, he's all like, we're gonna get rid of that guy, and they just show Clemenza just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't like...
Yeah, understood, I think he says.
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That guy was like a dance judge to him. It must be horrible to have to kill him.
Yeah. Clemenza's thinking in the back of his mind, if only I told him to go do his job, walk around the block. If only I'd followed up to make sure he was doing it. Yeah, Clemenza and Vito are very old friends. So he definitely feels responsible.
Right. Yeah, I guess Clemenza is his oldest mafia friend. He's the one who got him into it.
Yeah. Alex, we don't use that word.
Oh, sorry. I meant to say the Black Hand.
No. We don't. No. We don't use that term either.
All right. Well, Casa Nostra.
Or there's Casa Nostra or Mafia, as it's called.
So Sonny tells Paulie, he asks him if he wants some brandy to sweat out his cold.
Yeah.
And so I looked it up to see if, in fact, brandy is good for a cold or not. Have you ever had a cold and tried to sweat out a cold with brandy?
By boozing it up?
Or specifically brandy.
Well,
we can move on to other boozes after that.
No.
Okay.
I
Nor have I.
I don't have a lot of experience with brandy, although a few years ago I bought a bottle of brandy. I don't know why. Oh, because it's kind of sweet dessert wine. I think I had tried one and I really liked it, so I got this. I got some brandy, and every now and then I will have some. I like it.
You should remember that when you have a cold next time.
Well, years ago when I was playing in this one band in New York, I had a gig, and this particular band was known for playing very long shows. We would start at maybe 9, and we would go till 5 in the morning.
Till the break of day.
Pretty much. People were there in New York bars, stay open as long as people are there. They don't they keep serving. And I knew it was going to be a long night. And I had a cold. It was probably even the flu. It was terrible. But you can't not play because the band is booked.
Show must go on.
Show must go on. There's a reason they have that saying.
How was your voice during all this?
Well, I was just singing backup, but it was definitely weak.
Okay.
So I show up to the gig, and it's in this Irish pub in the Bronx. And the bartender says, "Oh, Andy, you got..." and they were really from Ireland. I'm not just...
So
just
this
making
is your Irish accent.
Yeah. Oh, Andy, you're sick. You need a hot toddy. Have you ever had a hot toddy, Alex?
I've heard of it, but I've never had one.
I think it's whiskey and maybe tea and maybe
honey. Maybe
there's some cinnamon or some lemon in there. It's pretty much whiskey with something hot.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of those. And guess what?
What?
It didn't help. It made me feel terrible. And I still had to play this really long show. So I know it works for some people, but it didn't work for me.
The internet seems very conflicted. There's a lot of, basically doctors are saying no. And everyone else is saying, yeah, it's a good home remedy.
Everyone else who wants to drink.
Yeah, because some people are saying, at the very least, it'll make you sleepy and you'll you'll go to sleep. But most of the doctors seem to say like that. If anything, it's probably any alcohol is bad for you because it dehydrates you.
Yeah.
So they were saying you'd be better off just drinking, regular liquids. Keep yourself hydrated.
So going back to my story, I don't think it was the hot toddy that made me feel terrible. It's just it dehydrated me. So I'm in a bar, so I just start drinking beer to hydrate myself. Next thing I know, I got 6 or 7 in me. Yeah. My voice is getting weaker. It's late at night. So I'm with the doctors on that one, Alex.
All right. Well, also another cool thing doctors said is that while brandy doesn't really have any effect, if you drink 8 to 14 glasses of red wine per week, it will cut down your susceptibility to colds by 60%.
Whoa.
That prevents it. Once you're sick, it won't do anything. But
that's valid research?
Yeah. That's what multiple sources said it. Of course, who knows what possible long-term damage you might have from drinking 6 to 14 glasses of wine per week, but something to consider.
So Clemenza knew something back then.
He
got his exercise. He was dancing.
Yeah, more wine.
He was eating well, right? Wine to stave off the cold virus.
Yeah, so you think he was getting a summer cold at that point? Paulie, well, and that's where Paulie caught it from. He was drinking out of the same wine jug.
Well, Clemenza also, people don't really know this. Clemenza was a health nut.
Was he?
In a lot of the deleted scenes, you
should have guessed that just by looking at him.
Yeah, he was making homemade cannoli with kale and spinach cooked into him.
Antioxidants.
Green tea.
Nice.
Of all of the Godfather characters who would be a health nut, who would it be?
A health nut. I could see Sonny in a weird way. Really getting into it.
Yeah, like the protein powder.
Yeah, him
like he's lifting.
checking his pulse by putting his finger on his neck every once in a while. I guess that would be the first one I would think of. You think of someone else?
I could see Kay getting into fitness.
Yeah. They should have had one set in the 80s and she was doing like the Jane Fonda thing with the leg warmers and everything.
And as we talked about in the last bonus episode, this won't make sense to anyone who hasn't listened to it yet. Paulie was it was on the Jenny Craig diet, right, to lose weight?
Yeah.
Or was it Don Corleone who's on the Jenny Craig diet?
Oh, right. Yeah. Don Corleone is on the Jenny Craig diet. Yeah.
I lost all this weight and that's why I'm thin again.
Doesn't it sound intriguing? If you did not hear if you did not hear last week's bonus episode. So if you want to hear it, if you go to godfatherminute.com/support, you can hear this week's bonus episodes and all the bonus. Well, they're not bonus episodes, but bonus material. So, and as we've said many times, or a few times, we think that the bonus set are the best episodes. They're the best part of the episodes.
Because this is America. That would be the promotional poster. It's Bonus Sarah saying, "I love America, ... and the bonus episodes."
Yeah, totally. So one thing I like that happens in this minute is it's a classic thing, which is always good when someone's being all friendly to someone. Oh, you want some food in the icebox? I'll have some brandy. And then like as soon as the door closes, he's like, I want that son of a bitch killed. like just turning on the dime. It's always a good. It's always a good, especially when it's the most extreme of wanting the person killed.
Yeah.
So
do you think if Sonny had not said I want him killed, that it would have been as obvious that he was just kind of sucking up to Paulie, but he wasn't being legit?
So if he didn't have that part, and they just went back to talking about other stuff,
would it be more convincing?
I think you might suspect it because we don't see Sonny be that nice to any other, especially underlings. Like the only time we see him interact with Paulie, Clemenza is the one who says, "Get out there and do your job."
Yeah.
Does Sonny? I guess Sonny and Paulie both go and hit the camera guys.
Yeah.
But
Paulie just gives that weak kick to the camera when it's already on the ground. He lets Sonny do the hard work.
That's a great little detail.
Paulie, I think they shut the door, and it's 2 seconds later, and Sonny's all loud, like, "Yeah, I want that son of a bitch killed. Make it first." Make it the first thing on your list tomorrow, Clemenza.
Well, do you think Paulie suspects at all?
Well, he can barely hear with those congested sinuses.
But I mean, do you think he knows? Like, it seems like if you call out sick and then the Don gets shot, is he boy, like, even if I wasn't responsible for it, he's like, just to cover up loose ends, they're going to be like, okay, just why take a chance?
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask, why is Paulie even there? He's got to know that they know. But that was part of the plan, that he was going to call in sick and they killed the Don.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't count on the Don surviving. It would be a whole different scenario if the old man had died.
You think it would? You think Paulie would not be there? Would Paulie have fled?
I think he would, but the conversation, and I think they'd less likely be talking about what the next move was and retaliating. Rather, they'd be talking about making the deal. Right. So less likely to hold accountable the murderers. I
can't help but think that Sonny particularly would still want to kill somebody.
Yeah, that would be his first reaction. That's why it's up to you, Paulie.
But so in this scenario, does Paulie stay with the Corleones, or does he immediately jump ship and go to the? That's why I think they want him at the house, is because they want to be able to keep an eye on him.
The Corleones?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but why is Paulie and Barzini must think, though, that they don't suspect Paulie, which is why they're sending him there. Barzini doesn't care.
Yeah, I was going to say Barzini doesn't care. And I guess if Barzini's like, no. I guess if he talks to Barzini and then Barzini says, just lay low, hang tight, he really have no choice. He can't. Yeah. He can't go against Barzini's orders because then he has no allies. So he has to kind of. So he must have been like nervous, being like, "Oh my god, I just want this to be over."
I know. He was healthy, but he got himself sick because he was
with the stress.
So worried. Yeah, the guys at the gate, they got a package. Hey, a little side note here. Did you know that Paulie and Michael were in the same grade in school?
Huh, really?
Yeah.
Paulie seems so much younger to me.
Well, Puzo wrote that.
Huh.
Yeah, Mikey knew him growing up.
I wonder how he got into it. Does it say how Paulie got into it? Is he like, does he have a family member? Is there some aunt or uncle?
Gosh, I don't know. I'd have to go back and check. It might be in there. Puzo does write a little bit about Paulie. It's earlier in the book though. I don't remember anything like 2 pages further back than 2 pages.
I'm guessing that there are no Corleone cousins or anything. I mean, unless someone came over from Sicily afterwards.
Yeah.
But like his older brother got killed, his mother got killed, his father was killed. So like you'd think if he had aunts or uncles and stuff, they would have like helped him escape or something like that. But it doesn't sound like anything like that. So anyway, I guess any cousins and stuff would have to be on Mama's side of the family.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Paulie was somehow related to Mama's family.
Another side note.
Yes.
I turned on the television the other day and Taxi Driver was on.
Oh, yeah?
We talked a little bit about Robert De Niro. Do you know who else is in that movie?
From The Godfather?
Yeah.
Oh, don't tell me. I give up who?
Yeah, he is in Godfather 1 and 2. Cheech Laporte.
Oh, who does he play?
He
like
is.
some slime bag?
It was the first scene I turned on to. He worked at the taxi company.
Oh, yeah.
When Robert De Niro came in to get a job.
Oh, that's cool.
And he was asking him questions. And he's like, yeah, I was in the Marines too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no. This ain't no limousine service. These are taxis. No. You can't drive a taxi here.
Do you?
Yeah. Frankie, sorry, we were all bent out of shape about that low fuel mileage.
I like how Clemenza just goes. He never actually talks. He just goes.
Cheech always does.
He's interpreting for him. Yeah.
That's like if Frankie Five Angels had died, Cheech would carry him around like Weekend at Bernie's, always talking for him.
Because Martin Scorsese at one point was mentioned as if Coppola got fired, then Coppola was like, have Martin Scorsese do it if I get fired. So
yeah.
Sonny calls him I'm sure I'm going to mangle and pronounce Strunz.
Yeah, Strons.
Strons. Which, according to my annotated screenplay, is basically a corruption of the Italian word stronzo. Which means piece of shit.
Ooh.
So he's not pulling any punches there.
Did you notice that line was overdubbed?
It sounded like it.
Yeah, it definited sounded like it. Paulie sold out the old man. That's
the camera angle changes, and then it suddenly sounds like a dubbed in.
Yeah, always great when in Godfathers when you see. I think that bumps up the rating 1 star.
Anytime there's bad dubbing or obvious dubbing.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah, there are some good examples in the. Movie.
I also noticed how Sonny called Mike Mickey. Did you hear that?
Oh,
yeah. And I even looked in the screenplay to double check. I thought I was like, am I hearing things? And
Mickey?
It says Mickey, Mickey.
Mousd.
I really didn't mean to spell like this show. I just, because that's not pronounced Mikey, right? Mickey.
No, I guess I would say Mickey.
Yeah, he says Mickey.
Yeah. I guess you could have nicknames.
I never heard any other time him called Mickey by anyone.
It's a childhood nickname. Maybe Sonny's all flustered and he thinks his name is really Mickey.
Yeah.
He's like, Mickey, Nick, whatever your name is.
Oh, that's why Fredo gets so mad, too. He's like, you were supposed to run the Mickey Mouse nightclub. You stepped me over.
He thought he was talking to Fredo when he said, Mickey, what you gonna do? So he also says he wants Mickey to go get a couple of guys and go over to Luca's apartment to wait for him, which is a kind of a funny idea, especially now that you know that. Does that mean they have to wait in the room with all the wax dummies, or are they just be like waiting outside in a car or something?
Probably waiting outside. Yeah. They know better than to go into Luca's room.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they would go in and help themselves to some scotch.
No way. I would never touch his scotch.
Yeah.
Well, before we get into the fish stuff, which is the next exciting thing,
You mean the Tessio stuff?
Yeah.
Is that what you meant by fish?
Bonnie, I talked to Barzini. So I noticed Michael, whenever he has, you can tell whether Michael is innocent or guilty by how much bangs he has. Because now he has his hair kind of hanging down over his forehead. It makes him look, and his ties all undone, so he looks like much younger, as opposed to when he has his hair slicked back, like in Godfather 2 and stuff. It just just a simple thing like that can kind of change the way he looks.
Yeah.
But yes, let's talk about fish.
Yeah, let's talk about fish.
Let's talk about fish.
Fish brings in the fish. Fish, bring in the fish.
Is that how they got? We're listening to fish.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask. Is that why they got Abe Vigoda, because he already played fish? But that was afterward. Bernie Miller was after.
Oh no, I was going to say the opposite. I was going to say,
that.
do you think he was named Fish in honor of this scene?
It had to have been. Is that not on the internet somewhere?
I don't know.
That has to be. I never caught that connection.
Well, you know what? We'll ask.
We'll answer.
Where's my pen?
So
Fish.
those of you who are not watching the minutes with us, at the very end of this scene, the door opens because remember Paulie had just said that the guys at the gate said there was a package, and Sonny sent Tessio down to pick it up. So at this moment, Tessio walks in, doesn't say anything, and just hands this package to Sonny. So I have a few questions.
Yeah.
Does Tessio know? Oh, well, let's reveal it for our audience. So Sonny opens up the package. What's in there, Alex?
A bunch of bulletproof vest.
And he unfolds the bulletproof vest. And what's in there, Alex?
Inside the bulletproof vest, inside the paper, or is it one dead fish or a few? I can't quite tell if it's more than one dead fish.
I think it might be at least one.
Okay. Well, so there's at least one.
Yeah. But no, I mean more than one.
Yeah.
There's at least there's one or more fish.
Well, I guess it would have to be multiple fishes. Because he says he sleeps with the fishes.
Oh, yeah.
Which is funny, actually, because fishes is not the correct pronunciation, correct pluralization. It's just fish. Well,
if there was just one fish, I think
I caught 7 fish last night.
Fish, Fishes. Old Sicilian message.
Maybe fishes means different species of fish as opposed to.
If there's just one there,
that
means they just killed him recently. If there's 2 of the same species, that means he's been dead a while. If there are multiple species, that means you're pretty much all about to die.
That's just a subtle symbolism in it.
Well, that's how the Sicilian sailors used to communicate with each other across open seas.
They have to call in a ichthyologist and to identify what kind of. They have a book that has all the different meaning, all the codes. I think this means he's on vacation. That can't be right.
That messes up all my plans.
So this is the first time we find out that they find out that Luca is dead.
Yeah.
And I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in the book and in the original screenplay, we would not have known what happened to Luca until this moment, and then there would be a flashback showing the whole thing with Tatalia and all that stuff.
That's correct.
So that would have been a very different. How that would have impacted it. What does
first getting the bulletproof vest with the fish in there? Who
does the Don get shot first, or does Luca Brasi get stabbed?
In the book?
In the movie.
In the movie,
different.
Luca dies.
Yeah.
Then the Don gets shot
after.
Yeah, definitely after.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would definitely change it, because you'd have you'd be more aware that there was something bad that was going to happen since they killed Luca.
Yeah.
You'd be more like, this is, trouble.
Yeah.
So the Don getting shot would have just come out of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a different.
It's a different setup.
I wish there were alternate edits. I guess there are in the family saga and everything, but I would be curious to see how it played with that scene here. Also there's no other flashbacks in the movie.
In the entire movie or this scene?
In this movie. Obviously, Godfather 2 has flashbacks.
That's right, yeah.
So I'm just curious as to how it would have been.
Well, in the saga, don't they just play it all chronologically?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I'm saying that one, it still wouldn't be in that order, but I would just be curious as to how they handled it.
Yeah.
Like, would it be the room, room, room? It all started that lucky day. So, yeah. I should have looked it up. I'm going to ask you to answer this one, too.
Okay, which one is that?
If this was the popularization of the phrase sleeps with the fishes.
Or did it exist before the movie?
Yeah. I shouldn't have looked that up already, but...
Yeah.
All right, so we have two fish things to look up in the bonus content.
Yeah.
Sleeping with the fishes and Abe Vigoda is fish.
I started saying before, I think it's so great how Tessio just walks in and hands Sonny the package. Do you think
he literally puts the problem in his lap?
Yeah.
Put rotten fish in the boss's lap? Like, you don't just say, listen, Bonnie, I got some fish here.
And did Tessio know? I'm assuming Tessio had it opened outside and he looked at it.
Yeah. I guess probably to make sure it wasn't a bomb or something.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's funny. He just lays it on there. And so
it almost seems accusatory. Like he's putting it in his lap, not saying anything. And then he's like, it's an old Sicilian message.
Yeah, well, it's actually Sonny says, what the hell is this? What does this mean? Yeah. And then it's Clemenza.
Right, who says
it's
an old Sicilian message.
A Sicilian message. Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes.
It's also great that they can identify that as Luca Brasi's bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah. Well,
maybe he's the only one who wears
it. It's like a triple extra large. So.
His whole bridge smells like brandy from all the amounts he spilled over the years.
And wax from his wax studio in his apartment.
I think you're going to wax like he waxed people.
Wax. So when Clemenza, it's funny, Sonny asks, what does this mean?
Yeah.
Clemenza says it's a Sicilian message.
Yeah.
Who else in the room do you think knew that? And who needed it explained to them like Sonny?
I think Tessio probably knew. All the older guys knew.
Yeah. Do you think Hagen knew?
No.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because Sonny and Michael don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine that Tom Hagen would know.
Yeah.
Unless you think that they... so who... I guess the Tatalia sent this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Turk sent it via the Tatalias.
Also, the Turk... The Turk sent it?
The Turk's the one who had Luca killed.
Right, but Bruno Tattaglio is there. Remember with the
I guess. Yeah.
Pre-war, the lighter.
This is not so much the Turk versus the Corleones. This is really the Tatalias versus... This is the Corleones. You're right. So I think it was...
Well, it's ultimately Barzini versus the Corleones.
That's true. What do you mean?
Well, Tatalia's a pimp. Oh, is that one?
It could be. It should be.
Yeah, so I think it's the younger guys probably need it explained to them, but not so Tom Hagen would be a no, unless like the Don would entertain Tom with all the different symbols of I'll just always mean death. Yeah. Sleep with the fishes; they'll send you a.
It's funny that Don Corleone never taught that to his children. I guess it just never came up.
Yeah, that's Mustache Pete stuff.
Yeah, that's old school.
Yeah. So that's why I don't think the Turk sent it, because the Turk probably wouldn't know. Although he's from Sicily, so maybe he would be more.
Yeah. And so does it mean literally that they killed him and put him in the water, in the ocean or the river?
Yeah, I guess so.
Or is it just symbolic?
Yeah, I don't know if they just chopped him up, or whether he literally sleeps with the fishes. I think depending on what they do with his body, there's different symbolisms. Like, that means they put him in a wood chipper. If he got like a bag of sawdust or something.
Yeah.
Give him a shovel. It's like, they buried him 10 feet underground. Alive.
It's all the Mustache Pete's that can decipher all those different clues.
Yeah.
Well, why they send us a bowling pin? What does that mean? Well, it means they killed him and left him in the gutter.
It was their strike. A really good gag, I think, is when with the end of this scene is when Michael hangs up the phone. Mm-hmm. I think that's such a great. It's a great. I don't want to say musical. It almost has a kind of rhythm to it where you're getting this bad news, and then it's all da da da, and then you hang up the phone. Like, I guess I don't have to call him. It's just such a nice little bit of a silent, like, little gag there.
Yeah,
a little post trauma, little lightness to it. So there you go.
I almost expected that when Michael was hanging up the phone, there would be a visual wipe of the screen, a la Star Wars Episode 4 when they lift C-3PO up and the
Yeah.
May I read a little bit from the book?
Oh yeah, I would love
Just overall, there's a few slight differences between the book and the movie, and I'd like to point them out.
The book is different than the movie. The book is different than the movie. The book is different. The book is different. The book is different than the movie. Yeah.
And we have to do the countdown too, because we're getting close.
That's true. Yeah. We got to do it again. Sonny tells Mike that Sollozzo planned to kill Pop so he could make the deal with Sonny and Tom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Puzo writes, Michael said quietly, "What made Sollozzo think he could get a deal with you?" Sonny flushed and he didn't answer for a moment.
Oh.
Then he said, "We had a meeting a few months ago. Sollozzo came to us with a proposition on drugs. The old man turned him down, but during the meeting, I shot off my mouth a little. I showed I wanted the deal, which is absolutely the wrong thing to do. If there's one thing the old man hammered into me, it's never to do a thing like that, to let other people know there's a split of opinion in the family."
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Sonny's willing to admit it.
Yeah, I give him some credit.
And I guess Mickey was the only one who wasn't at that meeting, who was in this meeting. So he would have been the only one who didn't know why it happened.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta give him credit. He could have just said, "I don't know." You know?
Get out of here, kid. Go check for more packages.
Bada bing.
And then Sonny says he'll kill. So later on, Sonny says that he's going to kill the Turk no matter how it ends up. He's really hot-headed.
Yeah.
And then
it's personal. Business, not personal, Sonny.
Sonny said very simply, "Sollozzo is dead meat. I don't care what it costs. I don't care if we have to fight all the 5 families in New York. That the Talia family is going to be wiped out. I don't care if we all go down together." Michael said softly, "That's not how Pop would have played it."
Well, ain't the way I wanted it. Doesn't that more or less happen later?
Set up for you to say that, by the way.
Doesn't that more or less happen later on? And when after the broken jaw scene?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that kind of the same thing?
Yeah.
Similar.
Yeah. And then at that point, Sonny made a violent gesture. "I know I'm not the man he was, but I'll tell you this."
I can see where this is going already.
I did swear I did not plan on it sounding like Walt. "I know I'm not the man he was, but I'll tell you this, and he'll tell you too. When it comes to real action, I can operate as good as anybody short range. Sollozzo knows that, and so do Clemenza and Tessio.
What does it mean?
I made my bones when I was 19.
Ah.
Interesting. And it goes on, but it sort of reminded me of the Mo Green scene. When he gets anytime anyone gets challenged, they have to talk about when they made their bones.
Establish their credentials.
Yeah.
So, that would have been much younger than, I was wondering if Michael was dating cheerleaders at that point.
Oh, probably not.
But no, he would have been much younger.
Yeah. And Sonny said, "I made my bones when I was 19, the last time the family had a war, and I was a big help to the old man. So I'm not worried now, and our family has all the horses in a deal like this.
The horses.
I just wish we could get contact with Luca. Mm-hmm. So you get the hell out of here."
Yeah. So, pretty excited. What do you give this minute?
Oh boy, I have to give it 5 stars.
5 stars.
It's one of the most if not the most iconic line.
What, "Sleep with the Fishes"?
Yeah.
No, that's not the most iconic.
Really,
line.
you don't think so?
Of the whole. Well, first of all, you got
people say that all the time.
Yeah, but we don't know if it was taken for this.
That's true. Yeah,
we'll ask and answer that in the bonus content.
Yeah, okay.
You can give it 5 though. I'm going to
give it 5 just because of that line.
I'm not here to argue with you. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say 4.
Okay.
It's not quite a 5 to me.
Yeah.
But it's still, it's still a great scene. Mm-hmm. It's as close as you can get to a 5 without being, it's like a 4.9.
Yeah.
So
if Brando were in it and had delivered some of those lines.
Yeah. Even if there was a picture, or you said like they talk about him a lot though.
Yeah.
So.
I know I'm a mustache Pete Sonny. That means that Luca is sleeping with the fishes.
Yes, I'll give it 4.
I just realized Clemenza interprets the message. He says, "Oh, it's a Sicilian message that Luca sleeps with the fishes." But what they really should have said was, well, what does that mean?
No, you mean he sleeps with fishes?
Yeah. Oh, that means he's, underwater, hanging around with them. Like, well, yeah, so go call
You got
him
some
up.
cement shoes. Cement shoes? Why would he wear cement shoes?
Yeah. And then Tessio chimes in.
That messes up all my plans.
So I give it 5 stars.
Yeah.
And this is minute 56, right?
This is minute 56.
Which means we're 2 minutes away from the
Cannoli
cannoli
countdown. Are we 3 minutes away?
Oh, yeah, we are.
So go ahead. Ask me again.
So, this is minute 56, so you know what that means.
That means there's 7 minutes left
Till what?
till the
Cannoli countdown.
ends. The cannoli countdown
Ends.
This is really we got messy with this one. Let's start totally over it again.
Okay.
Go ahead. You ask me, I'll answer.
Alex, this is minute 56. You know what that means?
What could it possibly mean?
It means that in 3 minutes, it's going to be the end of the
Cannoli countdown.
Countdown. Guns and cannoli. Countdown. Won't be seeing Paulie no more.
Paulie betrayed me, he got a cold and then didn't show up to work. I thought Paulie was a good kid, but it turned out he was the stupid jerk. I'm talking about a countdown.
Guns and cannoli.
Countdown.
You won't be seeing Paulie no more.
You gotta leave the gun to send a clear message, or else you might lose your life. And whatever you do, take that cannoli. Don't upset Clemenza's wife. We're working on a countdown.
Guns and cannoli. You won't be seeing Paulie no more.
How many minutes left? How many minutes left? We're doing the countdown. How many minutes left? How many minutes left? Consigliere. How many minutes left?
So how many minutes left, Alex?
How many minutes left? 5 minutes?
Sure, why not? Cinque.
Cinque.
I needed all the time I can get. As I said, I've written it and I started recording it, but I have a ways to go. Yeah.
Well, you got 5 weeks left.
Yeah.
Well, now will you debut the next countdown song immediately, or will it have to come up naturally, or you want to give us some clue, or you want to surprise us?
Well, what do you mean?
Okay, so in the moment when he says, take the gun, leave the cannoli, do you immediately then announce what the next countdown is?
Oh, we haven't talked about it. What do you think? What will our listeners want?
I say we don't say it immediately, and then we'll be like, hey, you know what? Oh boy, there's the Turk, but I don't think he'll be around long, or whatever, something like that. You know what I mean? So people will be caught surprised.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I don't want people to get their hopes up because, the cannoli countdown was a good one. It was truly inspired. I wrote it in just a couple hours.
We all know everyone can't be I want to hold your hand.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to do a Mr. Moonlight every now and then.
Mr. Brasi.
All right, so we don't have the bonus content. We have a couple of questions to answer, and are we going to do the cocktails one?
Yeah, let's do the Godfather bar,
Godfather.
themed bar and drinks.
Yeah, what are the drinks they serve at the Mickey Mouse nightclub? They're Godfather
perfect.
themed.
Yeah.
So join us there,
and make sure that within the next 3 minutes you
take the gun and leave the cannoli.